Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope you are doing well, and today we're going to be talking about this news right here. Star Wars The Clone Wars was canceled because it was getting really graphic. So anyone that doesn't know anything about me, I never watched Clone Wars when it first came out. I remember when I saw the previews for the animated film, I thought, the animation's kind of shoddy. I'm not really interested in that. And it wasn't really until I discovered this movement, Geeks and Gamers, the Phantom Menace, and all this stuff that I started to get recommendations. You have to watch Clone Wars. You have to watch Clone Wars. Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers, said this constantly. You have to watch it. It is absolutely fantastic. I started watching it and I realized, after just a couple episodes, this is more than just a kid show. Again, the first episode I was kind of like, okay, this is fine. I can see why people might like it. But then as the episodes go on, it starts to grow, it starts to develop, and you realize, they've actually got something for every single person in here. You've got the animation that's going to appeal to younger audiences. You have the story arcs and the character arcs that really do appeal to everybody. And I thought that it was very well done. I thought it was very, very beautiful. And I love the fact that I'm in season 5 now, episode 18. So I'm chugging away. I'm almost done season 5. And it's so exciting to see because it really has developed more into a show for fans. Like, it's not even just it's a kid's show or it's a cartoon. It's its own entity. It's its own thing. And yes, there are definitely some dark elements. I just got to an episode where a character gets beheaded. They don't show the actual beheading itself, but you know what happens. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's something that's not necessarily kid-friendly because it's not graphic. Like, as it says right here, it got canceled because it was getting really graphic. But I don't really see how it was being... obviously, the themes, you could say, were a little bit more adult or a little bit more mature than what had originally started out with. But I think that's a show that any person from any age can appreciate or find something to appreciate about it. So it really doesn't surprise me, though, that this happened. And when you find out why this person is saying this, and you're going to find out why and what was the reasoning behind this cancellation of the show, you will start to understand why so many people have been so angry with Disney, but also I think why that anger might get reinvigorated because of what is being said. So Star Wars The Clone Wars was canceled following Disney's 2012 acquisition of Lucasfilm because the fan favorite animated series was getting too graphic, says Boba Fett voice actor Daniel Logan. So I think a lot of us knew that Disney was a part of the decision to cancel the show. I honestly didn't realize just how close the cancellation was, that it wasn't being canceled because ratings were bad. It wasn't being canceled because Star Wars was dead. I still cannot believe that there are people out there that said Star Wars was dead and dying before Disney took over. Clone Wars was doing very well. Notice how they didn't cancel it because it wasn't doing well. It wasn't canceled because it wasn't, fulfilling it wasn't fulfilling the wants and desires of an audience. It was doing everything. In fact, it was getting better and better. Like, as the show has progressed, as every season has progressed, the story has gotten better. The characters have gotten better. Everything has gotten better. And so the fact that they've canceled it, and this is coming from someone who worked on the series. So I take this with a lot more salt than I would if it was just some random insider or if it was just, even the head of Lucasfilm, because obviously I don't really trust them at this point. But the fact that it's someone close to the product, someone who loved this show, who loved the series, who loved his character and the development that his character went through, I definitely think that he has a lot to say here, and I think that a lot of it is based in reality of what actually happened. And I believe it too, because if you look at what Clone Wars became, definitely was not Disney. Definitely did not fit the typical Disney bill, because Disney, when it makes animated series, guess what? It only makes kid shows. It only makes shows, and especially today, in today's world, back in the day, they made some pretty good shows. Not just kid shows, but also live action shows. But nowadays, it's like lowest common denominator crap. It is lowest common denominator crap that they put out, and it's just awful. It's stupid. This could have been a chance for Disney to say, we can be more than just that. We can expand ourselves beyond those horizons. We can actually put out a good product. We can take something that's doing well financially, that's doing well critically, and we can keep things going. And instead they decided, no, we're going to cancel it because it's too graphic. Oh, it doesn't fit our image. Oh, it doesn't fit the Disney. Doesn't fit the Disney image. And it's just really sad that that's the case. So as he says, Disney, they canceled it. I think it was getting a little too graphic. Actually, it was getting really graphic. Logan said it at London Comic Con. Boba was doing some really, really cool stuff. He started actually becoming a bounty hunter. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get to that, because I haven't gotten to that part of the story. Of course, I had younger Boba in the earlier seasons and his development over time. So I cannot wait to get to that. And oh my gosh, guys, if you have never seen Clone Wars, please do. Like, I'm even just thinking about it right now. I'm like, I need to watch another episode because it's getting really good right now. Logan portrayed a young Boba Fett in Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, before reprising his role in the animated series. I did not know that. That's really cool. At the time, it was just too graphic, I think, for what Disney was used to. Again, too graphic for what Disney was used to. So Disney had an opportunity to take a product that was doing well and help it succeed, but just in typical Disney fashion, they Disneyfied it. They put out instead Rebels years later. And I know that there are people out there who say Disney, Rebels was not a bad show. Dave Filoni was still attached to it. So Dave Filoni, though, you can understand why that show is not held in as high regard among fans as Clone Wars is, because Dave Filoni obviously had a little bit more creative control, a little bit more power, and was able to put out a product as it was supposed to be, as it was meant to be seen in Clone Wars, when with Rebels, his hands were tied. Because Disney said, oh, we don't want anything too graphic. We don't want anything too graphic. So he was able to produce the same storylines and story arcs, but because his hands were tied, it makes sense as to why some people say it's good and it gets better as the seasons go on, but it's not as good as Clone Wars. And that makes a lot of sense. It really makes a lot of sense to me now, knowing that this is the reason why Disney decided to cancel it in the first place. We'd actually recorded 7 episodes that didn't get aired. I know this is part of one of those lost episodes, which I really cannot wait to see because it sounds amazing. Pointing to an unfinished episode that would have pit Fett against Cad Bane. Are you kidding me? Yes, this is what happens. Disney takes the things that people want to see, that fans want to see, and say, oh, you want to see that? Psh, screw you. We're going to subvert your expectations and let Rian Johnson take control of a movie that has nothing to do with the first one and leaves little room for growth and development after it, but that's okay. That's fine, because we don't care about you. We're a family company. Oh my goodness gracious. Before the plug was pulled, the series looked to continue Fett's development into the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy, a disappointing loss for Logan. No, seriously, and not just a disappointing loss for Logan, a disappointing loss for the fans. Despite what people might want to say about the Boba Fett film being canceled, Boba Fett is one of the most, cherished characters in the whole Star Wars universe. He was one that had little character development, little dialogue, little presence at all. Really wasn't even that cool when you understand how he was used in the original trilogy, and yet he became one of the most beloved side characters, supporting characters, almost in the entire in the entire Star Wars universe. And it really is sad. It really is sad. And it's a tremendous loss that we're not going to be able to see that. It's really, really sad that we're not going to be able to see that. Before the plug was pulled, the series looked to continue that development into the most feared. Again, disappointing loss for fans and also for Logan. I don't cry, but I started tearing up when I saw some of these episodes and what I was doing. So we actually recorded them. Yeah, that's all that's left. They might come back. You never know. That's so sad. These are episodes now just based on the little information that he has given us. The fact that he just mentioned Cad Bane with Boba Fett in the same sentence, that's something that I want to see. Even as a younger Boba Fett, I still want to see that. So many of us want to see that. When announcing the cancellation of the Clone Wars in 2013, Lucasfilm said a decision was made to pursue a new direction in animated programming. Or in other words, it's a little too graphic for us. It's a little too great for us. We don't want the fans to be that happy. Let's go ahead and go in a totally different direction. That's how it is perceived by the fan base. Because you took something that was doing fine financially, something that was doing very well critically, the fans loved it, and you canceled it. And that is typical Disney at this point. Disney would later launch the more kid-friendly Star Wars Rebels before resurrecting the Clone Wars, announcing the revival to a much fanfare at San Diego Comic-Con in July. And why do you think that's the case? Because they realized, Star Wars is dying. Oh, no. The Last Jedi didn't do very well. Oh, we need to do something. Oh, I know what we can do. Let us instead announce that Clone Wars is coming back. It's coming back, guys. We're listening to you now. It's too little, too late, Disney. But guys, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is the reason why? Again, this is coming from the actor who played Boba Fett in the series, so someone who's very, very close to it. I honestly think this seems right. This seems like a Disney move. It's too graphic for us. We're going to go in a totally different direction. We're going to go in a kids direction. We want to keep Dave Filoni on because he obviously knows what he's doing from a character standpoint and from a story standpoint, but we don't need the adult themes in there. We don't need the themes that can help kids grow up, can help kids deal with certain issues that they probably should be dealing with at this point. Now, let's just not have any of that in there. And it's really sad, and people keep saying, Star Wars was dying before Disney took over. No. Star Wars was thriving, and then Disney took over. Because what are your thoughts about this? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, let me know, do you like Clone Wars? Do you think Rebels is better than Clone Wars or vice versa? I would also like to hear that as well. Again, I'm in episode 18 of season 5. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see that. I cannot wait to watch the Lost episodes. And then also, I cannot wait to dive into Rebels either. Because even though that is a Disney production, even though Disney did take that over, Dave Filoni's still involved, and I've heard nothing but great things from people like Jeremy Geeks and Gamers and other people who loved the overall series in general. So I cannot wait to dive into it. But guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a great day, and as always, God bless.